From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
We can't start singling out people because of who they look like or how they talk or how they dress. We can't turn law-abiding American citizens and law-abiding immigrants into subjects of suspicion and abuse.
President Obama criticizes Arizona's controversial new immigration law that allows police officers to stop and interrogate anyone they suspect is undocumented. We'll go to Arizona to speak with Pima County Sheriff Clarence Dupnick. He calls the law unconstitutional. He says he won't enforce it. We'll also speak with sports writer Dave Zirin about opposition to the bill within the world of sports, with professional athletes from baseball to basketball threatening to boycott games in Arizona. Then the House approves a measure to allow a referendum on Puerto Rico's political future.
For the first time in 112 years, the Congress of the United States will ask the 4 million American citizens in Puerto Rico what they wish their relationship to the United States to be.
We'll speak with Congressmember Jose Serrano about the bill and why it divided all 4 U.S. lawmakers of Puerto Rican descent. Then, as the media focuses on the fact that the suspect in the failed Times Square bomb plot is a Pakistani Muslim, what about the man who first noticed the smoke rising from the SUV? A street vendor, a Muslim immigrant, says he first sounded the alarm and helped stop the plot. All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The effort to contain the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico continues today with an attempt to place a 4-story dome-like structure around the breached well. Engineers hope the dome will siphon off the hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil that have been spewing into the Gulf each day. The dome has never been used at such depths. BP executive Doug Suttles said the attempt is unprecedented.
It'll take about 2 days to put it on the seafloor. You can imagine we're landing a very, very large essentially metal building onto the seafloor to capture the flow. And this has to be done very precisely at a depth of 5,000 feet. So it's a very complex task.
The oil spill could turn out to be the worst industrial environmental disaster in U.S. history. As the oil slick continues to approach coastal areas, scientists are warning that globules of oil sticking to the bottom of the sea could threaten every part of the ocean food chain. Newly released documents, meanwhile, show government regulators exempted BP from a comprehensive environmental review of the project that resulted in the spill. The Minerals Management Service granted BP a categorical exclusion from a full review before approving the project just over a year ago. In a statement, the Center for Biological Diversity said, quote, "Instead of protecting the public interest by conducting environmental reviews, the MMS rubber-stamped BP's drilling plan just as it does hundreds of others every year in the Gulf of Mexico." U.S. officials say they now believe the Pakistani Taliban may have played a role in the failed car bombing of New York's Times Square. The Pakistani Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attempted attack, and the suspect, Faisal Shahzad, has reportedly provided new information about his alleged contacts with Pakistani militants during continued interrogation. A top Pakistani official, meanwhile, has echoed speculation the failed attack could have been retaliation for CIA drone strikes in Pakistan. Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi made the comment in an interview with CBS News.
This is retaliation, and you could expect that. Let's not be naive. They're not going to sort of sit and welcome you, sort of eliminate them. They're going to fight back.
In a video made before the bombing attempt, Pakistani Taliban leader Qari Hussain Massoud called the attack revenge for drone attacks in Pakistan, as well as the killings of militant leaders in Iraq. According to the New York Post, Faisal Shahzad told interrogators he witnessed several drone attacks during his recent 8-month stay in Pakistan. Independent Senator Joseph Lieberman of Connecticut and Republican Senator Scott Brown of Massachusetts, meanwhile, have announced they'll propose a measure to strip Americans charged with terrorism of their U.S. citizenship. Shahzad was born in Pakistan but obtained U.S. citizenship through marriage. The Terrorism Expatriation Act is expected to be formally unveiled today. U.S. officials, meanwhile, have acknowledged the CIA has been launching drone attacks in Pakistan despite often not knowing the identities of its targets. The strikes have been carried out under widely expanded authority approved by the Bush administration 2 years ago. The policy means the CIA's targets can extend far beyond what was previously a narrow list of suspects. The Los Angeles Times reports the identities of the vast majority of over 500 victims killed under the expanded authority were either unknown or the subject of fragmentary information. In some cases, the CIA learned it had targeted a known terror suspect only after the suspect turned out to have been killed. Nigeria has declared a week of national mourning following the death of President Umaru Yar'Adua. The 58-year-old president died Wednesday after a long battle with kidney and heart ailments. Presidential spokesperson Imaniburo made the announcement.
President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua passed away tonight in the presidential villa. The acting president has received this news with shock, sadness, and the nation is in mourning, and I'm sure that the entire world mourns with us tonight. The acting president has declared 7 days of mourning, during which period the Nigerian flag will fly at half-mast.
Acting President Goodluck Jonathan was sworn in to replace Yar'Adua earlier today. In Greece, 3 people were killed Wednesday in rioting over a new round of austerity measures. Lawmakers are set to vote today on additional wage cuts and tax hikes in order to secure billions of dollars in international loans. Wednesday's clashes broke out as over 100,000 people took part in a nationwide strike. The victims were killed when a breakaway group of demonstrators set fire to a bank in Athens. The Federal Communications Commission is expected to unveil new regulations today for broadband providers based on the rules for traditional phone networks. The move would help adopt the net neutrality concept of ensuring web users have equal access to all websites. The new rules follow last month's Federal Appeals Court ruling that the FCC lacks the authority to prevent Internet service providers from blocking and controlling Internet traffic. Media reform activists have flooded FCC Chair Julius Genachowski with phone calls and emails in recent days amidst rumors he's considered abandoning net neutrality in the new rules. Democratic Congressmember and House Appropriations Committee Chair David Obey of Wisconsin has announced his retirement. Obey says he won't run for re-election in November after over 40 years in office. Obey made headlines last year when he proposed a surtax to cover the cost of the war in Afghanistan. A prominent right-wing Christian scholar who's espoused homophobic beliefs has been found to have hired a young gay male escort for a 10-day European vacation. The scholar, George Riekers, co-founded the Family Research Council with the well-known anti-gay evangelist James Dobson. According to the Miami New Times, Riekers hired the escort through rentboy.com, which bills itself as the world's largest gay escort site. Riekers and the escort were photographed at the airport after returning from Europe. Riekers has authored books on ensuring children grow up straight, has testified against gay adoptions, and is a board member of a group that advocates for trying to, quote, reform gay people through therapy. Riekers has maintained he hired the escort to help him carry his luggage. And in Minnesota, 6 activists with the Rainforest Action Network were arrested on Wednesday after chaining themselves inside the headquarters of the agribusiness giant Cargill. The activists say they staged the protests to oppose Cargill's palm oil operations that are destroying large areas of Indonesian rainforest. And those are some of the headlines.